Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. It's Thursday the 15th of December, we've got new mods and we've got a few updates. The map Riverside 22 by MISSYB has had an update, the Bear Rock logging map by Poor Boy and NLA Gaming, the Deutz AgroStar 6.61 by Maya Modding, Callum Modding, Peter AH and Puma, the Christmas Trees Pack by JmGarcia, the Lizard ROL 3600 by Rowley Christie, 1 VSR Modding Sir, the map Maypole Farm by Cavalier Roy, the map Oberkirkheim by the Lort, the Oberleitner by Farmer 5 Tom, the Sell Everything by Schultz Modding, that has added in, a lot of the maps have added in stuff to do with the new Platinum Edition, Platinum Expansion. That Sell Everything by Schultz Modding has added the ability to sell the shipping containers at the sell points, which is quite handy. The Lizard Front Windrower by Hispano, and the map Eastern North Carolina, USA by Mac Trucker 921 have all had updates. We start with the Milk Tank extension. This by MISSYB, 0.65 megabytes download, 5 slots on console, 50,000 to buy. You find it in the build mode and you find it in the silo extensions. There you go, 50 grand. Slot count comes down to 1. It's a 500,000 litre extension. Now it does say in the description it can be placed 75 metres away. Now, you can't place it on its own because it's an extension, so you have to have a silo in the first place, or in this case, a cow pasture or cow barn, whichever. As long as it's producing milk, that's fine. So if I go and try and place one now, I'm fine here as long as it doesn't overlap. If I get just too far away, there you go, it won't let me place it. It needs to be placed next to a silo. Is that 75 metres? Maybe. It's a fair distance out. That way it only goes that far, but it's only 75 metres from where the milk point is, not from the whole thing. So it's going to be a lot closer in this side because of where the milk point is. As you can see, we can go a fair old way with it. Further that way by the looks of things. So, yeah, there you go. 500,000 litre extension. Nicely detailed, nicely made, handy bit of kit by MISSYB. Moving on from there, we'll get to those in just a second. We're going to start with this, or next with this. This is the Tractor Frontshield by Bayern-Agrar, 0.63 megabytes download, 2 slots on console. You'll find it under Tools and Miscellaneous. Options on this is 245 to buy, 10 kilo front weight in essence. You can have it like that, oversized follows, or convoy exceptionnel. Those are 2 options. Front 3-point mounted. If you're running convoys of gear, it may be perfect for you. That's the Tractor Frontshield by Bayern-Agrar. Next, we've got this. This is the John Deere 5M series by WOLFex Modding, 41.34 megabytes download, 20 slots on console. I have got 2 the same here. You'll see when we go into the details and options on this why. I have to say, this forestry one with all the extra bells and whistles, I really like this. This one, if I go L1, R1 and L1, R1, there's no options for any extras. That's part of why I've got a second one. And it will just help you when you're making your options decisions, but it does look very cool. And it does sound nice. We'll have a look at it first and then we'll talk about all those bits and bobs. You'll find it in the small tractors. Out on the end, 77,500, not too expensive either for the base model. Slot count comes down to 1 from 20. We've got the 5090M at 94 horsepower, the 5100M at 104 horsepower, and the 5115M at 120 horsepower. Those are the 3 horsepower options. We can have Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, Fredstein back again. These are the options on Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, Fredstein, and back to Trelleborg. Beacon, left, right, both off. Back fender, narrow or wide. Accessories, no. Figure, you have the John Deere figure on the bonnet. You can have forestry upgrade, like so, with all that. And then the next one says forestry upgrade with stuff. There's a chainsaw, a fire extinguisher. What else was added on that? It might have just been those, actually. With stuff. Then you can have the forestry protection frame, it says. The only thing I can tell between the forestry upgrade with stuff and the next one is it adds the John Deere logo back on the bonnet. I think. That's all I could tell. Now, this is where we've got simple IC. Now, simple IC, in this case, means there isn't any. If you go for simple IC, there's no doors, windows, or anything open. If you go for mouse control, that will give you doors and windows and things that open. So if you want the doors and windows, you want to go for mouse control. Front ladder attacher, you can have John Deere or no. Those are the two options. Puts a toolbox on there as well. Main colour, anyone on that palette. Rim colour, anyone on that palette. And then license plate option 2. So, as I already showed you, that one doesn't have any options, but identical. Beacons, horn, lighting, L1, right stick side to side, does the door. What I love as well is because you've got the cage on it, slightly rusted, a bit battered, opens and closes with it. Up and down, does that door, that's that. R1 and right stick side to side does the rear window. So the cage is much further out, which allows the rear window to open within the cage. So the cage doesn't move, the window doesn't inside it, which I think that's pretty cool. And there's nothing under L1 and R1, so that's your controls. That's really nice. Interior, nicely detailed. Everything moving as it should. There we go. The John Deere 5M series by WOLFex Modding. Moving on from there, actually I think we'll do these next. This is the AdBlue filling station by Team JZD Vidhostice. 1.4 megabytes download. We've got one under containers. This is a storage tank for AdBlue. You can fill it yourself and then take out from it, or you can come over to here, refill silo, and you can pay someone to come and fill it for you. And then we've got a buying station for AdBlue, which is just like a fuel station, gas station, anything like that, methane point. You just drive up to it, and then you can refill your AdBlue from that. Those are the two options. That one you will find under containers. That one you'll find under tools. That one is, I think they're both 3 slots, actually, 3 slots and 3 slots. That will hold 6,000 litres in total. Under build mode, come down to container, you'll see the blue one just there. 6,500 to buy, slot count comes down to 1. And then, oops, should have stayed on there. And then if we go to tools, it's the green one just there, 1,500 to buy. And you can fill up your AdBlue, whether you agree with it or not, or whether you want to use it or not. That's what you can do if you wish. Next to that, we've got this. This is the fuel tank pack. This by Dutch Modding Inc. It is 4 megabytes download. These are 3 slots each, varying in capacity. We can, with these, refill, get someone to come and fill them for you. Or you can fill them and unload them yourself. Unloading, that's what that one is for, so you can take out. There's no infill one, but if you drive a tanker next to it, it will allow you to overload, and I'll show you what I mean, because this end one here is full, 5,000 litres, and I used that tanker, just came alongside, start overloading, and it's put in. These you will find under tools, I think it was. Is that where I just saw them? Oh, they might have been containers, actually. There we go. So, starting off with the 1,150 litre one, 1,450, the 1,500 litre at 1,800, the 2,000 litre at 2,300, the 2,600 litre at 2,900, I know it's lots of numbers, isn't it, but it's all down on the screen, 3,000 litre for 3,300, 4,000 litre for 4,400, and the 5,000 litre for 5,500. Awesome. Fuel tank pack by Dutch Modding Inc. Moving on from there. We've got this. This is the Gruber 3M, the Hans Gruber, no, the Gruber 3M by MISSYB 3.93 megabytes download, 2 slots on console, 3 meters wide. It's a cultivator. You'll find it under tools, and cultivators. 8,000 to buy, 90 horsepower required to pull it. Slot count will come down to 1. We can roll on the back, yes or no. Change the main colour. And then we can change the design colour, which does the tines, like that. Is it a shallow or a deep cultivator? We're about to find out. Whoops, if I don't break it first, of course. I say deep, as opposed to the cultivator look over there, which is shallow cultivation. This cultivates normally. This will bring up small stones if you've got stones on, which I don't have. There you go, 3 metre cultivator, the Gruber 3M by Michu, or Michu77. Next, we have got the Amazon Combi Disc 3000, just next door. This is by Vertex Design. Let's hook up to it. As with, well, most of the mods, but the level of detail on Vertex Design stuff is always second to none. 6.36 megabytes download, 5 slots on console, 3 meters wide. We've got a whole selection of various different disc bits and bobs, and we've also got our mine's blanked. We'll see in the options in a minute. I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, you'll find this one under disc arrows. The Combi Disc 3000, 12 grand, 80 horsepower required to pull it. Ridge markers, that's the word. Ridge markers, yes or no? Absolute blank, nothing. There wasn't even a glimmer of a word there. Those are your 2 options on it. So for your ridge marker, left, right, and up. I'm trying to think if I've seen ridge markers on cultivators and harrows before, disc harrows. Or just on seeders. They probably have been, I just don't know if I've ever noticed. Drop it down. Shallow cultivation, as you can see. Goes at 11 miles an hour though. Pretty handy. If you do want your ridge marker on, for doing your next pass, if you don't have GPS, when you come back and you do your next pass, just line up the middle of your bonnet with that line. If you put your ridge marker on the other side, when you turn round, do it from inside, like so, that little mark on the middle, drop it down. If I stick to that, it should be putting my next mark out for the next row, and it should mean I'm overlapping perfectly. Look at that, absolutely wonderful. So there we go, that's the Amazon Combi Disc 3000 by Vertex Design. Moving on, just over here we have got the Lizard VR Roller. This by JmGarcia, 40.4 megabytes download, 20 slots on console for the smaller of the two, and 18 slots for the larger of the two, which was a peculiar way of doing things, but I'm not quite sure why it's that way around. But anyway, 20 and 18. Those are the slot counts. Now the rollers are usually used, can be used when you've done your seeding to compact everything down again, make sure you've got a nice seed bed, but these can be used prior to. You can plough, you can cultivate, disc harrow, that kind of thing. If you want to be a bit more immersive, to give yourself a really nice smooth seed bed, you can roll it first, then seed, then roll it after. It's up to you. I'm just going to roll now as it is to see what it looks like. But these you will find under rollers. So for 25 grand and 170 horsepower required, we've got the V-Roller 70, 80, 90. So we've got a 7 metre, an 8 metre or a 9 metre. Erased tracks, not or yes. I think I went one with, one without. Then you've got smooth rollers or Cambridge rollers. I've gone one with, one without, so we can see the difference between the two. If there is a difference, it might be exactly the same. Those are the options. No colour choices on those. Then we go for the V-Roller 100, 110, 32 grand, 240 horsepower required. We've got a 10 metre and an 11 metre. Same options, erase tracks, yes or no, smooth rollers or Cambridge rollers, and then license plate option on there. So, we start this up. I can't remember which one I went with erased tracks, but we'll open it up. This one I don't think has got the bits for erasing tracks, no. So smooth rollers, not erasing tracks, I think. Lower it down. And away we go. It may just be a look thing, We'll disconnect from that. And then we'll hook up to the next one. Because that's actually not showing any tracks, is it? Yeah, this one has got tines at the front here. You see the tines there? So that's from the compaction from your tyres. You're supposed to get rid of those before you do it, but I'll be honest, it didn't on this one. Didn't leave tyre marks behind. I don't think I went for... Did I have on those? No. Let's open up. With the Cambridge roller, I'm assuming it's going to leave the same marks. It may just be just a choice thing, you know. Lower it down. Yeah, pretty much the same, just wider. But it's worth having a look. You never know, because it might be there is a difference. So there we go. Oh, okay, way too far. Look at that. Absolutely horrendous. The Lizard VR Roller by JmGarcia. Moving on from there. We've got these. This is the Deutz DX 140. This is by DtP Mario. 21.15 megabytes download. 21 slots on console. This is out of a collaboration that was done by Deutz and Steyr. They exchanged engines and various different things in the past, and this was kind of the vehicle that was born of that collaboration. Nice looking tractor. It's quite long, I thought. Now this is the same. It was weird that we had two tractors that done the same thing. I'm now wondering whether I'm going to have all the tractors going to start doing this. But anyway, this had the same thing with the simple IC or mouse control. So I've gone one for one and one without. One, you have got options to open windows and doors. The other one, you don't. I mean, that's in essence is it. You want to go for the mouse control one, the same as we did for the John Deere. That's pretty much what we're looking at. This should also find under small tractors. So there we go. The DX 140, 47 grand, a little bit cheaper than the 5M we just looked at. Goes up a little bit higher in the horsepower as well. This is 143 horsepower. There's no option to change the horsepower on that. That's set 143. We can have a 3-point on the front weight frame. 120 kilo, 240, 500, 750 or 1000 kilo weight on the front. Back to 3-point. We've got Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Mitas, BKT of Radestein, Nokian and back. Under Trelleborg we have got under Michelin, just those two. Continental, Mitas, BKT, Radestein, Nokian, then back to Trelleborg. We've got beacon, left, right, off. Accessories, we've got standard. You can have a lamp bracket on the front of the cab. You can have one antenna, two antennas, bracket and one antenna, or all. As I said, simple IC or mouse control. If you want doors and windows to open, you want mouse control. Main colour, anything on that palette. Rim colour, anything on that palette. And a license plate option on there too. We'll hop in this one first. So this was the one that said simple IC. L1, R1, L1, R1 on PlayStation controller, obviously. We've got no options for doors or windows, but beacons, because I went for the beacons on this one, not on the other one. Lights, horn. I have to say for the price, 143 horsepower as well, runs at 26 miles an hour. It's not a bad bit of kit really. Interior. Very nice. I do like a flappy exhaust. But then if we switch to the other one, notice when we went for the oh, that's weird. Is it just the light frame? Oh yeah, as soon as I turn the lights on, the lights and the light frame are on the front there. The other one doesn't have that. Turn these off. There we go. So the other one, we've got our control. L1, right stick side to side, does the front window. Up and down, does the door. R1, right stick side to side, does the rear window. And up and down, does the other door. Those are your choices for the doors and windows under mouse control. Lovely. The Deutz DX 140 by DtP Mario. Next, over here behind the lorry, we have got the machinery shed. This is by Deere 20mm Normandy, 6.22 megabytes download, 29 slots on console, 45,000 to buy. You'll find it in the build mode and sheds. Nice overhang at the front there for putting whatever you want. Bales, pallets, vehicles, harvester headers, anything you like. Side door. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I set this all up, I forgot to come here and look for a light switch. That being said, oh, there are lights up there. That's very remiss of me. Can't see one. They're normally around the doorways, if there are. Doesn't look like it. Assuming they're automatic. Let me just double check the notes. Very poor, very poor. It doesn't say. A hall with lights for your crops or machinery. Somebody will be able to message you say, yeah, it was right by you, just missed it. Can't see one. It's not coming up as an option just for L3 or circle or anything like that. Nothing on the wall. No. But nice size shed. Nicely detailed. Nicely weathered. The machinery shed by Deere 20mm Normandy. Hang on a minute. Better check here just in case. Which brings me on to the last of the mods for today, and the last of the mods for me this week. I said in my Let's Play today, tomorrow I'm off. We're going to a wedding. We're away Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back on Monday. So if any mods drop tomorrow, I'm not going to be around to do a mod review. I know some people wait for me to put mine up, however long it takes. Sometimes it takes longer than other days, but I'm not going to be around. So unfortunately, if there are any mods tomorrow, I won't be able to do them. This is the Forage Storage by MISSYB. 1.47 megabytes download, 6 slots and 5 slots. These are 25 grand each. We've got one for forage crops, silage, chaff, grass, that kind of thing, and one for root crops, which will do potato, sugar beet, and sugar cane. They are, I'm sure it said they're 1 million litres each, but I have encountered a problem. Both the triggers this side for putting in and taking out, so for dumping and then taking back out again. However, it would only let me put in here. So one of those triggers should be this side. Taking out is done this side, but putting in isn't, which is fine for the root crop version. The other version I bought over my Total Mix ration quite happily. Brought it round to here because I've put this one round the other way so you can see both sides at the same time, if that makes sense. I couldn't get a trigger to come up. Now I tried it with this trailer and I've tried it with that trailer. It works with both on that one, but not on this one. And this one is even weirder in that both the triggers are right on top of each other here as well. I've tried both sides. I've tried along the whole length of it. I can't put anything into it. It won't let me. So I'm not sure whether it's going to need an update or not. I'll show you what I mean. This one will work. Please work. Don't fail me now. Come on. There we go. So that should tip in. Well, that's tipping in. I'll go around to this one. So nothing coming up here. I thought maybe I've got to get closer, maybe I need to drive across the front of it. I didn't have to on the other one. I've tried in all different places, won't work this side, so okay, well maybe it's just different on this one, maybe it's the other side. I can't get it to work this side either. So yeah, I'm a little bit puzzled, not going to lie. Yeah, nothing coming up for triggers either way. This you'll find under, was it silos? I think it was silos. There we go. So the forage storage Storage for root crop and forage materials. Now it does say storage building for straw, hay, chaff, silage, also TMR. The other one, root crop building, store potatoes, sugar beet, also sugar cane. 25 grand each. Slot counts come down to 1 on both, from 6 and 5 down to 1. But like I say, I'm assuming. Why is that? It says building capacity 1 million litres. I have not put 1 million litres into that, and now the trigger's gone. How much have I put into that? I wonder if that's a typo. It's 100,000. Yeah. I've got 70,000 litres of sugar beet and 70,000 and 30,000 of potatoes. That's got a total of 100,000, not a million. Okay, I think these may need to an update. They may need to be changed potentially. But anyway, that's the forage storage by MISSYB. That's it for the mods for Thursday the 15th of December. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.